Happy Wednesday, Striver. I hope this message greets you in a place of joy and peace and readiness to keep enduring this week, to keep showing up, to keep doing the hard work, to keep that faithful and positive attitude as you move throughout this week. Even if there's ups and there's downs and there's uncertainties, you're halfway through the work week. And I hope that you find this message inspiring, that today you just take a moment to take a nice deep breath in and give yourself a little bit of breath and room to breathe, a little bit of a moment right now to just to test back into your body, to tap back into your heart or your soul, just to give yourself a beat in a crazy week. I think one of the greatest things we can learn to do in all of our mental health and personal development and high performance is learn to take those beats. Sometimes it's just the beat in between the busy hours where we pull away from our desk and we stand up and we walk around, we drink a bunch of water, maybe we do a few vinyasa flows or some qigong or some stretching or walk around the house and come back in and get back at it. Sometimes that beat is at the end of a meeting. You've been staring at your Zoom and all the bright lights for an hour or two, and you just decide, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes and meditate for a few minutes. I found that it's the beats in between the busyness where we actually find our access to greater performance. Often we think greater performance is stacking it on, stacking it on, stacking it on, but we are now dealing with a whole world of burnout. So many people overly stressed, overly anxious, and often it's the reality that there's really not that much big, huge things going on. It's just that it stacks on and there's no recovery. It stacks on, there's no recovery. It stacks on, there's no recovery. And it just feels at some point, day after day, becomes a slog through all that. And listen, lots of us have to go through the slog. But I believe that there's those who take a break a few times as they're going through that slog that are able to actually complete the journey. This comes to a simple topic I like to talk about in personal development today that might surprise you. It's something we talk a lot about in psychological research, well, I would say in all of science for that matter, and that's qualitative measures. Qualitative measures are those measures or that look that we do in trying to understand something that isn't driven by a lot of hard data or numbers. It's trying to sense descriptively what's going on in the world or in a scene or in a research study. It's trying to describe what we see, feel, experience in much more human terms. You know, I believe that these days we're really good at the quantitative stuff. I mean, people have quantitative devices, measuring their sleep and their breath and their heart rate. They've got devices on their wrists and on their bodies that are measuring and tracking everything, but they're losing track of their soul. They're forgetting the feelings and the beats of life. And so, driven by all these external measures, those KPIs, those performance measures, those OKRs, those goals, those tasks, hey, I'm all for those. But driven by all those and only those, they forget to ask, am I having fun? They forget to step away and describe in human terms what their day was like. What was your day? I answered 24 emails. Oh, okay. It's like so many of us set goals. I know so many people, having helped literally tens of millions of people set their goals where, their goal is just this number. Well, if I can make 50,000, 70,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, a million, 10 million, and just the number ever increasing, but the quality of life never improving. And so think about your day and how you're experiencing life. Is it based upon a bunch of goals and numbers driven by metrics that you've chosen or other people have chosen? Or are you after a feel of life? After working with so many people as high performance coach, I've realized that most people, they really just want to feel the day again. They want to sense the beats in between. They want to go through the day calmer, more centered, and have more presence so they can experience and sense life again. There's no numbers necessarily attached to that, no exact outcomes, no way to finish the day and check off all the complete things. It's just, have you ever had one of those days where you just finished the day and you thought, that was an awesome day? Felt good? That was what life I want it to be like. I don't know if you were tracking and measuring every movement, every step, every ring completed. And again, I have no qualms about that. I love the quantitative measurements of our modern lives. I think it's incredibly helpful. I think those little rings connecting on people's wristwatches have helped literally tens of millions of people walk a little bit more, work out a little bit more, be a little more attentive to their movement. There's so many good things that we can track and measure and monitor now in our work life, our productivity tools. I think that's all great. But if all of that is done without an even higher intention to improve the quality of life, those qualitative measures of how you would describe your life to another, those qualitative measures in which you talk about things like feelings, happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, emotional depth, soulful conversations. I'm telling you what, a lot of those things end up mattering more at the end. In fact, those are the things we often actually end up measuring at the end. Not the quantitative, what's in the bank account, how many perfect, rings we've completed, how many goals, how many businesses, how many perfect numbers that all lined up. But at the end, isn't it always true? It's the quality of life we've lived, the quality of emotions we've felt on a consistent basis, the quality of relationships that we've created, the quality of bon santé, of spirit that we've gotten to have throughout our lives, even in those tough times when the numbers were down. I hope you'll think about this, that ultimately, if it's here in Growth Day, while we measure a lot of things, part of the reason we have the journal here for you is just to capture that qualitative part of life. What are you feeling? What are you learning? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? What are you hoping for? What are you struggling with? What are you journeying through? If we could capture more concepts and have more conversations and reflections about our general descriptions of our health, our mindset, the love we feel in our heart, our family, our friends, our spirit, the experiences we're having throughout the day, how much we're learning, our connection with mission. And we could focus on that as much as we've all learned to focus on our follower count or our finances or some other quantitative measure. I think a little bit more zest would come back into our life. And I just thought it's midweek, and I want to remind you, live your life. Feel your life. Remember, it's about the quality of your life. It's about the depth in the days of your life. It's about the connection and the spirit as much as it is about the tasks, the checklists, the finances, and the ledgers. I hope you remember that. Feel life again. Here at Growth Day, we like to say that what most people really want after they'd had everything is a greater sense of aliveness, connection, meaning, and growth. I hope we're all doing that together today. I hope some of these reminders and these daily fires once in a while have you touch base back into your heart and your soul and into your life and remind you that every day truly is a great day to grow.